Smileys, welcome back to my channel. As you can hear, I've been getting over a cold, so you haven't been able to hear from me for a while, but I wanted to jump on and go ahead and make this video for you all. One, talk about the topic of credit cards, and two, to go ahead and jumpstart our budget. Now, Christmas is over, New Year's resolutions have been made, you've spent money buying equipment, merchandise, maybe conferences or what have you in order to reach your goals that you made in the new year. And then March comes around and you're like, oh, my budget. So this, even though I did not make a video in January, the videos really is in all actuality is timely right now as we're about to go into March. So I want to start off the video by saying for the remainder of February and for the month of March, I want you to keep all of your receipts and document. The purpose of you keeping your receipts for the remainder of the month and all of March is because we're going to go in and identify where you're spending all your money. Because, see, that's the number one problem with budgets is we know we're making income, but when it comes to the end of the month, it's like, where did all our money go? So I want you to keep all your receipts, keep all your statements, and in March, at the end of March, I'll come back and we'll start categorizing all those expenses, see which ones are variable and invariable, and we'll go from our budget there. So we're actually right on track with starting our budget if you start keeping your receipts now. So be looking for that video towards the end of March. Now on to this video, credit cards. Now I know I got some feedback from my last video, and one person reached out to me and said, you know, Danny, I really don't think credit cards are bad. And, you know, especially if you're disciplined. So I thought, okay, let's go ahead and make a video about it and explain why I have this idea of not using credit cards. So some of you, first let me tell you who my financial mentor is. Dave Ramsey. So if you want to go ahead and jumpstart your budget and not wait till the end of the month, go ahead and start reading some of his books. That's my financial mentor right there, Dave Ramsey. Now, me and my family, when we did our budget, we did follow Mr. Ramsey's or Dave's suggestions, but we tailored his suggestions to our household, and he also recommends that you know, do what fits for you. And so that's what we did, and I'm going to share with you as a finance major. I'm going to share with you some tips as well, and my budgeting is going to be a little bit different from his, but with the same ideas and principles in mind, is that we want to get that debt out, get that oh no one nothing. So we're not going to be having debt. That's the main principle. And so those principles is what will remain the same. His principles of no debt, you know, the debt that you have, let's work at knocking all of that out first. And then things that you want and desire, you can enjoy because you don't owe any major creditors. So to this topic of credit cards, I do not like using credit cards. Everything, go ahead and pay cash. Now, when I used to use credit cards when going to the grocery store. It's like, you know, in fact, that's what the person that reached out to me didn't use the term discipline, but what they said is, you know, I use my credit card and then I'll go home and I'll immediately pay it off, or, you know, when it shows up on the statement, I immediately pay it off. So there's no interest that's going to be accumulated on that. And I had the same idea. But what I found was, and Dave Ramsey is a stickler, do not use credit cards anywhere, anytime. Okay? we used credit cards, but we would pay them off so they would never accumulate interest. Like, go to the grocery store, make the charge, by the end of the week we go ahead and pay it off. So the money, the money that we allotted for groceries was being used for groceries. It was just, I had that middleman, the credit card. But what I found is that when I went to the grocery store with the credit card, I would always spend more than I would have if I had cash in my hand. So let's say I allotted $200 for the month on groceries, but I have it broken down in $50 a week. If I used a credit card, I may use $75 that week, $50 the next, $75 the next, $50 the next. But I still had money to pay that. So what would I do? That extra, that extra $50 that I spent may have came out of my entertainment line budget. And then, we didn't use all of the money in entertainment that month. So I would use the remainder of the entertainment money to cover the money that I had spent at the grocery store. And I was noticing that. So, but when I used cash and I went to the store with $50 only, then I would come out sometimes less than $50. And then that was extra money that I could put into savings at the end of the month. So Dave's favorite line is, no one ever got rich off of credit card points, because the one who reached out to me says, I use my credit card and I get those points so I can get cash back. And that's Dave's favorite line. No one gets rich off of credit card points, rewards points. So, go ahead, if you find yourself slipping in discipline, go ahead and just cut out that card. I mean, getting a few dollars cash back here and there doesn't outweigh the benefit of being disciplined and not going over and or having extra money at the end of the month to put into savings or put towards something else. So yeah, that was the purpose why I was using credit cards. I wanted to accumulate those points, get those cash back, but I ended up spending more money than I needed to without going over my bottom line. So I say, if you just have to use a credit card, then use it at places where you know you're not going to spend extra. For example, gas. Who goes over on gas, right? Your tank can only take so much gas. So if you are finding when you keep your receipts, I spend $100 a month on gas, then unless, prices may fluctuate or whatever, but you're not going to buy extra gas. Oh, I just want to get an extra 2 gallons because I want to. No, once your tank is full, your tank is full. So gas is somewhere I would recommend, okay, if you just have to use a credit card, use it on gas. If, let's say you're doing a big ticket item like your washing machine, well, see, I would say no there, because then you'll be in the store and you may see something else and your credit card is handy. So even for big purchases like washing machines, your washing machine went out, go and withdraw that money and use cash. So I guess gas would be the only instance where I would say maybe use a credit card. But for those of you who just want to use it, if you are disciplined enough where you know you're not going to go over, then by all means. I mean, this is not a credit cards are bad, point blank, period. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is use cash and you will find that you will have better discipline, and you will find that you have more money than month, and that you will find that sometimes you'll realize that sometimes you buy things that you don't necessarily need because the credit card is handy. So that's the purpose of why I say don't use credit cards. No one got rich off of cash back. And this way you can stick to your line item budget. So in my case, that extra $50 that I would pull from entertainment to cover groceries, that $50 could have been in a savings account accumulating interest. And so you end up crippling yourself in other areas that you may not necessarily be aware of. But Danny, do I have to get rid of the credit card? No, but I really think it's a great idea. And if you're just extra disciplined where maybe don't carry the credit card, just keep it in a file cabinet or something and use it. You know, if your washing machine went out and you just got to get a washing machine, you pull it out, then you only get that washing machine and you go back home and put it away if you just have to have it. But that's why Smiling Danny, is a stickler for no credit cards. So I think that's my notes. And I just want to end with, sometimes when you make a habit of things, you become too comfortable, and you'll end up forgetting. So maybe you'll start off being disciplined, and that was me as well. I started off only spending $200 a month with using my credit card, but as the weeks went by, started, oh, I want this, I want that, and then that's how I ended up pulling from other areas of the budget. So you may start off really disciplined and begin to lax, but if you always have that cash in hand, once that cash is gone, you can't get anything else. So it keeps you on track all the time. So Smileys, I thank you so much for your time. Remember, for the month of February, month of March, February, March, keep all of your receipts, all your statements. We're going to look through those and see where your money is going at the end of March. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. And for you newbies, thank you for coming and checking my channel out. Rate this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I will talk to you Smileys next time. Bye.